Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news here for you, and the headline of the news reads: Hope Uzodinma versus Ihedioha. Supreme Court decision finally bastardizes the judiciary. But before we continue with details of the news, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish videos on YouTube. All right, it's no longer news that the Supreme Court has dismissed the application of Ihedioha to review the gubernatorial election judgment that was passed on January 18. And that happened some few hours ago. And right now, we are going to be looking at the negative effect of this decision and how the judiciary will be surviving with this judicial precedent. I know right now that Hope Uzodinma may be celebrating, and not just celebrating, also he's now known to be the legitimate governor of Imo State. But then the decision by the Supreme Court has left Nigerians in awe, and also has gone an extra mile in messing up the judiciary a great deal. Now, we are going to be looking at some of the reasons why this is being considered a mess on the judiciary. Number one, don't forget that judicial precedent is one very important aspect of the judiciary. For those of us who are not familiar with what judicial precedent mean, I'm going to just give you a little definition about what it talks about. Now, the judicial precedent is actually the process whereby judges follow previously decided cases where the facts are of sufficient similarities. The doctrine of judicial precedents involve an application of the principle of stare decisis, that is, to stand by the decided. Now, in most simplified terms, I like to define it that the judicial precedent is actually a principle or rule established in previous legal case that is either binding on or persuasive for a court or other tribunals when deciding subsequent cases with similar issues or facts. That is where the whole issue lies right now. Yeah, everybody has gone back home. Ihedioha is going back to lick his wounds because already Imolites are going back home. Some people are going to be so troubled for as long as they keep seeing Hope Hope Uzodinma in that position. But hey, I think it's time to just clean our eyes and forget about crying over spilled milk. But then let's just look at, first of all, what is the effect of this judicial precedent on the judiciary. The first thing we are going to consider is that from now henceforth, with these kind of verdict that have been passed by the Supreme Court, any election will be believed to have been won where the number of vote cast exceeds the number of registered voters. Don't forget that one of the things that brought the global spotlight to this particular verdict was the fact that the number of votes accepted by the judiciary, or that's by the Supreme Court, was higher than the number of accredited voters, which automatically makes it very invalid. But hey, they accepted it, and now on the basis they've made a decision which is to the detriment of the judiciary, because right now, from now henceforth, any elections that is going to be holding, there will be no council votes, there will be nothing like accredited voters, because people will keep on bringing up a case and presenting some documents containing votes of the unaccredited voters which were discarded by the INEC. All right, let's look at the second reason why we say that this has really bastardized the judiciary. The second one is that overvoting is permissible in any election in Nigeria as a result of this verdict, which has been affirmed again even during the review. It therefore means anytime there is overvoting, in other words, what we mean by overvoting, anytime that the vote is more than the number of accredited voters, it will sell through. It cannot be cancelled. If it is cancelled by INEC, we hit the court, and we use this judicial precedent to see how we can get a victory. And guess what? The politicians are really going to be using this, against the court and against their opponent. And the third one here is the third reason why we say that the decision by the Supreme Court has bastardized the judiciary is a result tendered by a policeman or any security agency who was available in the election is admitted in any court as a valid exhibit instead of that of the INEC official. Don't forget that one of the persons that show up and tender results, which was accepted by the Supreme Court, was actually a police officer. And they forgot about that which was tendered by, the INEC official, which therefore mean that INEC do not have so much power, to decide elections again. It's now the Supreme Court that have the power to do that. So anyone who is a security agent that comes up with any result claiming that it was the result or that he saw with his eyes, that of the, INEC official will be discarded, and that of the security agent will be accepted. And the fourth reason is computation error does not violate or debase section 179 of our Constitution in interpreting the 2/3 of valid votes. The 2/3 of the valid vote. So that alone goes to tell us that a lot of things have messed up. Let's just look at the content of this section 179 of the Nigerian Constitution. And it says here, a candidate for an election to the office of governor of a state shall be deemed to have been duly elected to such office, where being the only candidate nominated for the election, he has a majority of yes vote over no vote cast at the election, and he has not less than 1/4 of the vote cast at the election in each of at least 2/3 of all the local government area in the state. But where the only candidate failed to be elected in accordance with this section, then there shall be fresh nomination. A candidate for an election to the office of a governor shall be deemed to have been duly elected where there being 2 or more candidates, he has the highest number of votes cast at the election. He has not less than 1/4 of all the vote cast in each of at least 2/3 of all the local government area in the state. And guess what? That was the situation that we saw there. And these are some of the few points that we can raise. I know some other points are going to be coming up from some persons who have legal understanding of what we are talking about. So with all of this going on, I believe so much that Nigerians are not happy, because right now, if you go to the Twitter, you go to social media platform and see the responses of Nigerians towards this dismissal of the application of Emeka Ihedioha, you will be so amazed. A lot of people, if I read the comments, you'll be so surprised, said they have lost every iota of respect they had for judiciary. That it clearly means that the judiciary is under the strict control of the executive. There are a lot of reasons why most people believe that the whole thing had been tampered with from the beginning of this whole review issue. And one of the reasons why they believe it has been tampered with is the fact that despite the fact that this particular stuff was generating a lot of controversy, it was amazing to notice that the governor of Imo State, that's a Hope Uzodinma, was seen in Imo State 2 hours before the dismissal of the application of Emeka Ihedioha. He flew in and to attend a UN function in his state. He wasn't even perturbed because he knew that everything has been concluded. From there, most people believe that it was something that was already handled at the, at Aso Rock. And secondly, we also know that there were a lot of persons who came up staking so much. One of them is a guy who said that he knows that that if Emeka Ihedioha will win the election, he won't mind to give up one of his kidneys, just to show you that so many people were in the know that this thing will not end in favor of Emeka Ihedioha, despite the fact that it was overly obvious that things were not done aright. And that is where we are right now in this country. There is no hope for a common man if he hits the judiciary, because automatically everything will be done according to the dictates of the executive, and that does not paint this country in a good light. Who knows what will become of the country in the nearest future? Because if we are to go by this, a lot of people believe that the last option of peace has already been exhausted. Judiciary is considered to be the last option of peace in a country. If we hit the judiciary, they're going to do things right, because it's the last hope of the common man. Most of them are believing that right now people may begin to defend themselves with whatever they have. During election periods, you will see that it will become more of a do or die affair, especially when the opposition is contending with the ruling party. And this is absolutely not good enough. People will do everything within their powers to see how they can win in the field. They won't wait for any court to help them out. Nobody is ready to present anything. Don't forget that this same issue came up in the case of presidential election, where a lot of things were being presented, but they turned it down. They said it was not good enough, that he didn't have the right to come up with such document. But in the case of the Imo State, we saw that they still made use of document presented by the humanitarian aspirant, and all of a sudden from fourth position shot him to first position. Well, that's just where we are going to leave it. As I did say before now, no need to cry over spilled milk. The deed has been done. So let's forge ahead and pray that 2023, if it will meet us as one Nigeria, we will do the right thing. That's where we're going to leave it. Go to our comment section. Let us interact. What do you think about the verdict, the dismissal of Emeka Ihedioha's application? Do you think that it will pose so much threat to the judiciary?